Wednesday on July 12th, 2025. Today I'm going to be making a video about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell interactions, specifically focusing on how gut bacteria can impact skin conditions in humans such as psoriasis.
Alright, so let's get into the slides a little. So like I said, we're going to be discussing the role of gut microbiota in psoriasis. So what is psoriasis? Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease, and it occurs when the immune system mistakenly identifies healthy skin cells as foreign invaders. This triggers an inflammatory response in the body. So this inflammation leads to increased blood flow, more immune cells in the area, and it just further accelerates skin cell production, creating a cycle of inflammation and rapid cell growth in the skin. So today for our prokaryotic-eukaryotic interaction, we're going to be looking at one of our gut microbiota here. And so it is the prokaryotic cell. So some things about a prokaryotic cell is it lacks a membrane-bound organelle, it has a nucleoid containing DNA, it has ribosomes for protein synthesis, and it has a thick peptidoglycan cell wall. One of its most important functions is the production of short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which help regulate inflammation and maintain gut health. For our eukaryotic cell, we're going to be looking at the human intestinal epithelial cell. Unlike prokaryotic cells, eukaryotic cells have a nucleus and they have membrane-bound organelles. This cell is very important for absorbing nutrients and acting as a barrier between the gut and bloodstream. They also detect bacterial signals using immune receptors like TLRs, which help regulate immune responses. Okay, so the actual interaction between that prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is drawn here. And forgive me, I am no artist, but I'm going to do my best to explain what you are looking at. So this drawing shows that interaction, like I said, and so in the image it can be seen that these probiotics are helping to increase AMP production, which directly is linked to killing microbes like bacteria, viruses, and fungi by disrupting their membranes. So it ultimately will limit pathogenic growth. It also helps to produce tight junction proteins, which help make more tight junctions between the epithelial cells, and as well more short-chain fatty acids are produced, which helps to reduce inflammation. So overall, the important parts of this interaction is that the healthy gut microbiota is there to increase the barrier's integrity as well as decrease its permeability. But however, when harmful bacteria increases, a condition called dysbiosis, they can disrupt the barrier and produce inflammatory byproducts that enter the bloodstream. So you can see in the image where the inflammation is occurring, those tight junctions separate, so it's allowing all of those toxins to pass through and enter the bloodstream down below it. And so this will ultimately trigger immune activation throughout the body, which contributes to autoimmune conditions such as psoriasis. So patients with psoriasis will often show low levels of butyrate producing bacteria and higher levels of inflammatory bacteria. And this imbalance can lead to systemic inflammation that eventually affects the skin. And some studies have shown that restoring gut microbial balance using prebiotics, probiotics, or just dietary interventions can help reduce the flare-ups of psoriasis. So the decreased tight junctions will allow those toxins through, and so this will happen with an overgrowth of pro-inflammatory bacteria or a loss of beneficial bacteria, but ultimately it will increase the intestinal permeability, and so these toxic products are then able to leak through the bloodstream, stimulating immune cells. And so the altered balance of these immune cells will then increase inflammatory products like cytokine responses. So the T helper cells are also stimulated and travel through the bloodstream to the skin, and once they enter the skin, they produce more cytokines such as IL-17 and IFN gamma, and this will lead to increased skin inflammation, resulting in hyperproliferation of skin cells, which will ultimately leave behind those itchy psoriasis plaques. But in summary, this interaction between the gut bacteria and human intestinal cells show you how vital prokaryotic-eukaryotic relationships are, and that these bacteria don't just help us digest food, they help to regulate our immune systems and protect us from chronic disease. And when these relationships are broken down, the effects can be seen not only in our skin or our joints, but in our overall health. And this is my works cited. I hope you guys enjoyed.